So, this is a story, my story time, as you can tell, about the time I almost got my ass beat by boys and girls. I basically almost got jumped. Thank God it was almost because I never ever wanted to um feel how that felt to get jumped. Like it is not a nice view, and I thank God for everything on how it played out. Like God was with me that day. Um, Not just me, it was me and my friend. So we was in high school, the first year of high school. High school was one of those new schools, and it was inside of a junior high school. So I don't I something happened. One girl from my school and one girl from junior high school was beefing because of a boy. It was a whole bunch of drama, and it was just fights every day. Like in the lunchroom, it was a fight. In the hallway, there was fights. They was coming to our, like, we had like two hallways in the whole school. It was two floors. We had two hallways in the school. Um, and they would come into our hallways and wait for the girls at the door, wait for them at the end of the hallway. As soon as we get in the lunchroom, there would be a fight. The boys got into it. It was just a mess. It was like fights every day. Um, the Our school ended up letting us out later than their school just to prevent um us meeting up, but that didn't work because they just, when they got out early, they just stood there and waited till we got out. Um, so one day there was a big brawl, like a big brawl. Like I'm not a fighter. Um, I mean, I had a couple of fights in my life, not necessarily with girls. I probably had a fight with a girl about probably once, maybe. That day I was not. It was not my intention to fight. Like it had nothing to do with me, but I was with the wrong crowd at the wrong time. Um, we was walking to was walking to get something to eat, and that that particular day, during lunchtime, one of the girls from my school had a fight with somebody from the junior high school, with another girl from the junior high school. So after school, they were at the corner, not at the corner of the school, so because we didn't see them. So they were like 3, 4 blocks up because they know that all of us walk that way to go home. Just saw a whole bunch of girls coming towards us. So my friend dropped her bag. Like in my head, I was thinking like, this had nothing to do with me. They're not coming after me or whatever. So, my friend dropped her bag and she started fighting the girl. And at that point, I realized that this girl is bigger than her, and she was holding her. She was holding it down or whatever. So, during those times is when the name belts was out. So I had a name belt that said, which one was that I have on? I had about 3 or 4 name belts, but that day I had on my Disha name belt. So like I knew she was bigger than me. I know she was bigger than my friend that I was with that time, and I don't know what got into my head, but I took my belt off and I started helping. I jumped in and helped my friend. And this girl was fighting both of us. Like, it was two of us fighting this girl, and she was holding her own for both of us. It was crazy. Like, she was, like, you can tell, some people is, like, just fighters. Like, she was one of those person. Like, she was a fighter. Like, she held both of us. And, then the cops was coming. We heard sirens. The cops was coming. They was running on the block and stuff. So we ran or whatever. So the next day, like, we know it wasn't over. We just thought they probably gonna come get at us in school or whatever. The next day, I was with one of my other friends. So we didn't walk that way because I'm like, you know what? I'm not even trying to get into that whatever happened um whatever happened the day before. I'm just not into it. So we said we was just gonna take the back road or whatever, right? So little do you know, they was somebody was watching us. So it wasn't the same girl that it wasn't the same friend I was with that I fought with the other day. It was another girl. So this girl, she was like, she's really short. Like she's really short. She probably was like like five, five one. So, um, me and her by herself was walking up the block, just talking or whatever, talking with like laughing, what happened in school that day, just chatting, minding our own business, thinking like, we're in the clear, ain't nobody gonna come get at us here. So we was like, we got to the corner to cross the street, right? All of a sudden, across the street, we saw about probably 5 girls, 6 boys, and they had things in their hands. And I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, yo, I'm about to die. Like, I'm like, yo, they gonna kill me. Tell me why. The Lord is, as the Lord, I swear I live like Jesus. He was really watching over us that day. Tell me why my mother and my cousin was coming down the block behind them, was walking towards us, and they were saying, all the people that I just told you about, they were standing on the corner. So my mother and my cousin was walking, coming from behind them. So we basically had, like, we couldn't run because it would have just made situation worse. So we just put our big girl panties on and crossed the street. And um, when we got across the street, my cousin and my mother was already talking to them. And apparently, like, my cousin at that time, he was in a gang. He was in a gang, and the boys was in the same gang. So apparently they did their little word, whatever, talk or whatever. And he was like, that's my little cousin, and it's not. I'm not gonna let y'all do this to her. Like, y'all need to back up. So, like, he always had my back, like, always. Like, I can call him anytime, and he was always there. Like I told you, I never really had fight with girls. I was always fighting with boys. But he always had my back. Like, he was always there. And that day was so crazy. And it was like, oh my God, how did you know? I don't know if my mom called him. I really don't know. I don't know if my mother, like, they didn't know. Like, she knew what happened the day before. But I guess she was coming to meet us. Anyway, so my cousin and the boys squashed it out, and the boys that was there, the girl that I actually hit with the belt buckle, it was his sister or his cousin or something like that. So he was just like, yo, she came home and told me that your little cousin was fighting her with a belt, blah, 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 blah. So my cousin was like, because I already told my cousin what happened. I explained everything to him, and so he knew everything, and he was like, well, she did what she had to do, just like your sister did what she had to do, and she was fighting too. So he was just like, yo, let's just squash this. Nobody in touching my little cousin, and that's that. I was like, yeah, ain't nobody touching me. Ain't nobody touching me. So he was like, girl, let's go. I was like, thank you, cousin. So he was like, you about to get your ass beat talking about thank you, cousin. So my mother was like, what would y'all would have done if we wasn't here? So I was like, I don't know, but let's not talk about that. Y'all was here and thank you. So went home and that was the end of that. The next day came to school. I wasn't really scared anymore because I knew, that my cousin did his thing. She ended up to homeboy and his little sister or whatever it was. So I really wasn't scared that day. So I came back to school and I was like, yes, yes. My cousin came and saved my life. And what you gonna do? You can't touch me. What you gonna do? You can't touch me. So that was the end of that. I think that was the last day of the whole fighting. This after that, like a few months later, we moved from that school and went into another high school. In that high school, did I have problems? No, not really. But so that's the end of my story, and that's the time when I almost got jumped and was saved by Jesus Christ himself. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys on my next story time or in my next video. And if you guys are wondering about my face, my look right now, if you guys want me to do a video on it, I would gladly do a tutorial on how I created this look right here. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment, and share my video. Mwah. Bye, beauties.